Welcome to Tea Time with Kitty. I have me some little Halloween decoration on me because I forgot to get my costume out before I was about to go on air, and I forgot to tell you all to get your costumes out. Hey, Michi. So we do know that this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I also don't believe that I gave out all of my October shout outs. So if you were born in the month of October or if you celebrated anything special, Tea Time would like to say happy birthday to you. I had several nieces who celebrated their birthday this month. One will be celebrating tomorrow. Happy birthday, Kimu. And if anything else has went on, as well, congratulations. Hey, sister. So we're going to get ready for today's topic. And today's topic will be workplace life. And this is going to be a part two segment. And the first part of it is the bossy boss. So I have a few people on here who I know are bosses. I have Tangi on here. Hopefully, Kern will be joining on here. If my sister Flood joins, she has had some history supervising, and then also my sister Mika, hopefully she'll be joining on. I want to make sure that she's on. So today we're going to talk about the bossy boss, and what we expect from our staff being a boss. But most importantly, this segment is about bridging the gap. Because what I found, thank you. Okay. What I learned from being in a role, being a supervisor and a manager, and my culture is there's a lot of division. So that's one of the things that inspired me to choose this topic. Like, everybody wants an awesome boss. Every boss wants an awesome a staff person, but we're not bridging the gap. Like, it's so much division, and we all know that wherever division is, we will not be able to grow. So we want to hear from some of you all. We're going to get started, but before we get started, I'm going to hear. I see that Mika's here, and I see that Tangi is here. So let me just first give my disclosure. So first thing, hey sis, I just talked you up. So today's topic is the bossy boss, and I want you to chime in and give some input on what we're looking for from our staff. I know next week when we do the messy coworker, they're going to have plenty to say about us. But the thing that we're working with, as I was saying, is how do we bridge that gap so that the managers, the supervisors, the staff all can be more. So, hey, they're looking for staff who's able to brainstorm. I am looking for staff who takes the initiative, because, being in a role as a boss, and you often, even though some people don't like to use that word, but being in a role as a leader, you sometimes, so meaning that you have to build a relationship, you have to kind of fit in and see how it works and how it works out, and get to know the person. So again, happy Halloween. I forgot to say, because we'll be celebrating Halloween this month. And Tangi, if you don't mind, I'm going to start with you. What are you looking for in your staff? And why Tangi, okay, trust each other. I like that. Karen, whenever you're ready to chime in and tell me what you're looking for from your staff, what makes a better workplace. And then after Karen gets her part, and Mika, I know you'll be ready to go. If anybody else on here today, again, welcome to Tea Time. I am really, and really looking forward to feedback with this. Now, I know a lot of us on here, if you are in a management role, you were once a worker, so you know what you wanted, and we'll be getting to that shortly. So Mika says, also Tandy said, trust each other. Mika says, strong work ethics, meaning coming to work on time and not taking off every other day. Strong think partner, someone who can collaborative, someone trainable with a positive attitude. I love trainable. And Karen, please jump in. Thank you, sister. And I also like positive attitude. You do not have to be the greatest person. You don't have to be the smartest person, but a pleasant attitude is a plus. I'm looking for team players and staff that I don't need to stand over and supervise. Definitely. So let me just say this to those who are in a role and you may have not gotten to the manager level, or you may have been at the manager level before, and you're not, because sometimes our roles change. Willing to learn, I love it. Teachable and coachable, I love it. So hear us out when we're in these roles. We do not want to be your parent. Like, we don't want to be your parent. Hey, Donna, we definitely don't want to be your parent, because I feel that the better relationship I have with my staff, the more competent my staff is, it makes my job any easier. So is there anybody else who's in a manager role that thinks that when you have a great relationship, independent thinkers, thank you, sis. Independent thinkers are so key. They are so key. Independent thinkers. I had a situation where someone told me they didn't have a overtime log sheet. So with me, if I didn't have an overtime log sheet and I wanted to work overtime, one of the things that I would do is open up a Word document. I could put my name on it. I could put my date on it, and I can write the case I worked on. I can write the income support number, and I can write my case action. Because again, definitely teachable. Yes. Because again, the thing is that you get out what you did, because sometimes we don't always have the tools. We don't always have the tools. So that definitely teachable and thinkable. Those are really key, because sometimes your boss just wants you to be. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Sometimes your leader wants you to be productive, and we all know how to be productive. So with that being said, I am truly looking for people who is willing to not just only be teachable, like receiving it from someone else, but receivable. Because like, people have to stop and understand that wherever you go, you're going to be forced with good supervisors, not so good supervisors, as well as colleagues. So you have to the word and let it spell check for you. A lot of times it will even help you with the grammar. So let's go back to this, because we got a lot of stuff coming in. Relationships are key. That's how you get by. I can't get my team to do anything I need because of strong relationships. Mika, that is so positive, and I'm so glad the supervisor to jump in. But it's just important to jump in, like Karen said, and help a colleague, because by me seeing how effective you are with your put this gap back together, we're trying to reconnect healthy work life. And believe it or not, the critical people that can do it is the management team and the staff. We are who can build a healthy relationship, because when there's division anywhere, it will not grow. If you know you got to come back from lunch at work 1:30, come back at 1:30 or commute. Exact. And as I said before, nobody wants to babysit y'all. So, I hear people say, such mean things about their supervisor, and we're going to hear from you all in a minute on the other end with what you want from us. But they say such mean things. And let me tell you, I wish Flood was on here, because Karen was on here. I was probably, I ain't gonna say one of the most horrible employees, but I always had those things. But far as sometimes I would come to work in a sweatsuit. So if you are working in any government building, and you're presenting yourself with an organization, don't wear no sweatsuit to work. Now, I know that we do Spirit Week. I know in the call center we had a great time. We had sweatsuit day. But on a regular basis, you should not be coming to work and someone can't tell if you're going to work or if you're going to the softball game. Okay, so present yourself. And so if you are someone that handle that most professionally and accordingly with an email, and remind them of the chain of command. I approve your time, even though it may sound a little harsh, but you don't approve, man, because what happens sometimes is people don't respect the title. And people say, oh, it's just a title. It's just a title, but we're responsible for an agency, department, whatever the case may be, we're responsible for that, right, Samante? Mm-hmm. The door, please. We're responsible for that. Okay. So that's why it's very important, and that we have to be mindful of how we interact with one another. There's nothing wrong with, because they're big on, we need to respect them. That's absolutely true. But they need to respect. Titles are important. Even when we talk about family dynamics, you shouldn't be talking to grandma like she cousin. Oh, grandma, go ahead and dap me up. What you focus on is the fact that titles do mean something. We have to get back to title. If I'm your mother, I'm your mother. And people that don't respect titles do not do well in the workforce. Okay, so let's see what else we got. If you want to be in the go-go dress as such, the office is a different story. Exactly. Okay. How do you do one thing is how you do I totally agree. How you do one thing is how you that it's working. Please wait while we try reconnecting. It's good. Okay. I don't know why it keeps going back to Xfinity instead of going back to the her Wi-Fi, but I don't know. That's a different story. But um now I forgot my chain of thought. Where was I going there with it? Someone tell you know where I was going there with it. You supposed to be assisting me.
You was talking about the people, the part of your job that don't.
Okay, so we were talking about. Thank you so much. We were talking about the part of my job, the staff in my job that complains the least are the cleaning crew, and they work throughout the building. Some of us may see them. Some of us may get off too early to actually see them, but you see them working. So that means that they're cleaning the toilets that we use. They're emptying the trash that we throw, and they hardly have anything to say. But you and I that make the big bucks that sit at a desk and process a case or may talk to a customer, we do the most complaining. You ever thought about that? What about how often do you hear, your trash man when he come early in the morning picking up your trash? Oh, the Harris house, they put too much trash out. Some of the people that has the hardest jobs and the most I would say trying job for me because I know I wouldn't want to do it. Not saying that somebody else would want to do it because I know they're as important as I am, but you don't hear those people complain. Or, whatever, how would it feel if, the mailman came up and be like, you got mail yesterday, you better not get no mail Thursday and Friday. So think about that when you're servicing people, and whether you're in a role as a subordinate or if you're in a management role, that's very important to think about. Very important to think about. So again, we talked a lot about what, and if anybody else, Kern, Mika, Tangi, anyone else there, need you, anybody else there that's in a role where you supervise even one person, if you don't mind dropping something else in the chat before we move on to the next thing. And just again, we talked about what we're looking for in employees. We talked about that we're not out to get anyone personally as an employee, and I pray that no one's out to get anyone. We don't want your job because we don't want to do your job. So we're not trying to take your job at all because we don't want to do your job. I cannot imagine a day, with my respect level for our clerks, our SSAs, I couldn't imagine a day of just scanning. A day of just scanning. So that means that the SSAs are as important as the managers because I would not want to be sitting at the front desk scanning all day. I like that, Mika. It's very important as a leader to be a role model. Very important as a leader to be a role model. Watch what you say and what you do. Never try, and you all know that I am really playful. Most of you all know me on personal role model. Watch what you say and what you do. Never try, and you all know that I am really playful. Most of you all know me on personal level. My staff get none of that from me. Matter of fact, in my last role, my staff used to tell me, what do you do? Go to church. So you don't have a life. You look like the type that, no, don't do none of that. You don't laugh. No, because where I've been before, when you first start out in management, you see that some of those things are not good attributes, like be helpful, be understanding, be sympathetic, have empathy, but watch how you play with them and things that you say out of your mouth. Some of the happiest people in the world come home daily smelling awful. People are so ungrateful. That's exactly it. People are so ungrateful. I manage managers, and I have an expectation that they treat their staff with respect. That is so important. But not only do you need to treat your staff with respect, but I have witnessed my interaction with the most recent service center that I've been working at, and the way some of management talk to the customer, I see why the subordinate staff talk to the customers that way. So that is very important that you set a tone. I wish we could promote or get bonuses. Yes, yes. And we had more insight, because some people are, we just had a young lady recently. She just recently went on leave. And before she could even go on leave, I was already begging for her to come back. Never, I mean, not look, most of the residents are eating in DC because of this particular person. Works hard all day, nonstop. Name is never in the mix of anything. Produces work all day long. And if I had my way, she would have a Christmas bonus in her lap. She would have a promotion in her lap. And this is why it's so important, because that's another thing that gets staffed down when they do such a great job, but it's not recognized. Even though people say, "Oh well," it's really good to be recognized. So people can pretend all they want. Oh, I like to be recognized. So if you all figure out, somebody don't want to be recognized, be like, "Well, who can I get it to?" I'll take it. Whether it be flowers, chocolate cards, or candy, I'll take it. Okay. So because I love being appreciated, and just as much as I love being appreciated, I love appreciating others. Because that's very, very, very important. So now we're going to open it up this time. And I'm going to read Mika's comment in a minute. But we want to hear from some people who are not in a supervisory role. No problem, sister. Hope all is well. We want to hear from some people who are not. Now, I know everybody on here is not in the supervisory role. I know Donald had made a comment, and hopefully he'll circle back. But I want to hear some experiences. I want to hear some experiences with some good supervisors. I want to hear some experiences with some bad supervisors, because that's so important. Because if you tell me a situation, it may help me act a little different with how I deal with my staff. So it could be a learning too. And I want to hear some people who said some things that they are expecting from a manager or a supervisor. As a manager, we should develop our staff to meet not only their professional goals, but their personal goals. Tap into their gifts and utilize them. Very, very, very important. And also, let me say this: one of my old managers used to tell me, when you're in a manager role, the microphone and the camera is always on. Someone's always watching, listening, and recording. So make sure, as we go back to talking about, make sure you model the behavior that you want to see. Okay. Why when you hold people accountable, they get attitudes and say you're micromanaging? Because people don't want to be held accountable. Like, they truly don't want to be held accountable. So people defense mechanism always comes out if there's anything that's not comfortable. Nothing that's comfortable to them. And if it doesn't feel good, it makes us respond different. And Sean said that to Mika, that is okay. What Mika has said was so true. I believe staff should be recognized, but it is difficult for me to balance, because honestly, they don't all deserve. They definitely don't all deserve it. And the funny part about being in a management role, I try so hard to, sometimes they rub you the wrong way and you ain't so happy with them. But the hardest part for me is being able to still treat them the way that they want, that they're supposed to be treated. So you still have to treat them in a fair practice. So that's very important, very important. I believe staff should be. Oh, okay, I did that one for Karen. Thinking you know everything. Sometimes supervisors can be coached as well. Thank you, Tangi. Thank you. Thinking you know everything. And if you know me, Tangi, I am calling you up. I am calling the help desk. I am calling any and everywhere I can to get an answer for a customer. I will not sit there, as cute as I am, and think that I am the smartest person on this earth and can't be helped, which will ultimately result in me disservicing a resident. Okay. So therefore, that is very important. I have managed teams that dislike me, but I never waver or treated them fair. You mean unfair? I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong. And providing resources. Yes, you do. Yes, yeah. So you have to, because things are constantly changing, and sometimes the information that my staff may get directly under me, they may have had more time to get that particular piece of training, and I may have missed something, because when you're in a role like I'm in or higher, there's a lot of moving targets. So what may be important right now may change in the next 5 minutes. So that's why it's very, very, very important to always have a good relationship. Like, because imagine, okay, so let's think about this. Imagine you're a nasty a boss, right? I'm taking the word back. I'm sorry. It has something to do with the talk, but take the word back. Imagine you're a mean leader, a leader that's not liked. You think you got all the answers. Nobody can say anything to you. Nobody can tell you anything. When you run into a situation, what do? Because remember, we're still human. So now we're ashamed because I done just gave Tangi a bad evaluation and I was acting funny when she needed 15 more minutes for lunch. And now, Tangi, can you show me how I clear this verification? But it's different if I got the kind of relationship with Tangi where I can go to Tangi for anything, because Tangi can also come to me. It just feels so much different. And it's such a great, 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 great working relationship. It's a truly great working relationship. So make sure, and I'm just waiting for a few more of your questions to come in. My sister Tasha is on the line. And we have recently started a GoFundMe. She is beating off that demon, that demonic spirit of cancer. Her story is on my Facebook page as well as her GoFundMe information. And I really would like for us to reach out on my behalf to Tea Time. I know we're not all millionaires right now, but it's a blessing to give. And I was revisiting some stuff, and you all keep chiming in with the stuff, and um I'm going to catch up with what you're saying, but I really want to share this that I'm going to be posting it. I'm going to be supporting her. We're going to be doing more for her as she goes into the actual part of the treatment. Any financial support is very important. And as I said, I was revisiting my life, and I talked to my daughter about my brother's son, and y'all probably know my brother's son Christian, and I always say I ain't doing, but with him I find myself at times really can't say no, because I know what it feels like to not have money to get to work. I know what it feels like need a few more dollars for the electric bill, but too prideful to ask. So any opportunity that I can give and do something to someone, I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to do it. I'm not sure if she has her cash app, but Tasha, if you're still on, okay, Tasha, you're still on here, please put your cash app in the chat, and then I'll copy and paste the other story. Yes, sister. So, and every little thing helps, because I know that sometimes we struggle with the fact where I ain't got it. I only got $5. You may only have $5 a day, and that blessing that you donate of $5 could really just spark something in you, and you may be able to come back next week with $50. So never second guess, because when you're a giver, as long as you're a cheerful giver, it means a lot. So I'm gonna go back and read some more of your stuff, but if you could post a cash app in, if she don't have one. I don't think. Okay, so she got it in there. If we could contribute anything that we could contribute, and she put it in the chat. Right now, all we need her doing is praying, holding fast, and letting people support her. So, and I know a lot of you all don't know me. I mean, know her personally, but you know me. And if you know me and truly know me, you know how much I love on those around me. You know how much I love on those around me. And there is no way that the love that I have for you all would make me miss an opportunity on you all helping me love on someone else. Because if you truly know me, you know that if I could do it for you, I definitely would do it for you. So I'm just going to go through some more stuff. We're praying for her. And like I said, the post is on my page for the GoFundMe. And she put her cash app, which is $ Latasha Murphy, and that's LATARSHAMURPHY. Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. We're here for you, because our village will not grow if we don't take care of one another. And that's the one thing that African Americans, so this is just the start of it. Like, I'll be challenging everybody on Facebook that if you got $1 in your pocket, put that dollar up. I ain't asking you for 10 or 20, but if you got $1, put that dollar up, because it's all taking care of each other. If there's anyone on Tea Time that has a business, whether you bake cakes, whether you sell cakes, whether you make shirts, please reach out to me so I can have you on my show and we can support you. I listen to 104.1, and every week they shout out a black business, and they ask you to go and support that black business. So and some of us truly may not have it, but last I checked with God, a prayer is free, and God will not even charge you the free 99. So if you don't have money at this time, it could come later. But if you send a prayer and your prayer is really sincere, God will have some free money come to you from some type of way so you can bless someone else. It seems that we had a lot of bosses on here today. And I definitely like our dialogue. I wish we would have had more people on telling us about what they expect, but I guess they'll get more into it. Yes, next week. I do have to get ready to wrap up, but next week we're going to be doing part 2 of work life, and we're going to be talking about the messy co-workers. Okay, so if you know somebody that needs to join in that's struggling with anything at their job and had to deal with that messy co-worker that won't mind their business. I know at my daughter's job, they have a messy co-worker that takes people food. So if you ever encounter any type of messy co-worker, and hey, one thing about your supervisor or your manager, they're a co-worker too. So when you come back next week and you didn't get to get your shout out in about what makes them messy and a mess, you can let me know about myself too, okay? Because the only way we'll get better is changing ourselves. And first it has to be identified, and sometimes we don't see it in our own self, and loving on our people. So I love each and every one of you. I'm praying for you. Messy, I know. Oh my God, I don't even know what that say. I ain't no accounting major, but we're gonna talk about that. So again, I love each and every one of you all. Thank you for loving me, and most importantly, thank you so much for sipping with a sister. Have a happy, safe Halloween, and we shall see you next week.